I know that normal Sultai energy kind of just eats mono red alive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, however, Clayton is not on normal Sultai energy. He's actually not playing any copies of Winding Constrictor or Rishkar.
Okay.
He's going for a more late game, bigger value approach.
So we can expect more Scorpion Gods, more
No,
Veraskas.
you mean Scarab Gods, not Scorpion Gods.
Not Scorpion Gods. Scorpion Gods bad. Scarab Gods and Veraskas.
Yep. I do know he plays Noxious Gearhulk.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna see bigger things, but both decks doing what they want to in the beginning turns of the game.
Yeah, starting out pretty standard.
Yeah. That's funny. Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah, Jesse had removal spell for the Glint Sleeve Siphoner into 2-drop, and we're gonna see him offer the trade, which is probably fine, and he wants to get rid of the Rogue Refiner. He also has another one in hand, but also just wants to get this, or maybe wanted to get this Ferocity in play. He's might be play another 2-drop and his Soulscar Mage, which he's gonna go for now. Which I like this play. It saves you a bit of damage. These can turn into races.
Yeah, it looked like he is that a okay. So he just has another Kenra in his hand with a land.
Yeah, another Kendra, a land, and a Rampaging Ferocity in hand, and we're gonna see a tune here from Clayton, who is currently little. His man is a little awkward just because he has double Aether Hub, but
I think
he should be okay now.
Yeah, I think that attune there helped him out a little bit, giving him access, so he has at any given time access to blue, black, and green with the Aether Hubs there to shore up his weaknesses if he needs double colors.
It gives him some mana fixing. He has plenty of energy right now, and the deck doesn't have that many large energy sinks. It has Cub, it has Glint Sleeve Siphoner, but and I don't know if Clayton's playing Hydra or not. I think he might be, but I'm not 100% on that. And so a lot of the cards in his deck only use 2 energy at a time, 1 energy. It's not playing anything like Whirler Virtuoso, which you need 3 energy to just activate the thing.
Yeah. It looks like he drew a Lightning Strike there, and he'll just play out the other Kenra.
There's a lot of damage that Jesse's getting right here.
Oh,
it's
The
6.
I think that Lightning Strike there on the top was a pretty good
It was a good draw
in the game, And he's currently sitting on 4 lands. If he starts to flood out a little bit, he at least has 1 Kenra in the yard that he can bring back, potentially a second if Clayton's able to remove it.
Yeah, and we're going to see here, I think Clayton might be a little flooded, or he just has a lot of expensive cards. I know he's at least more land in hand, and also has a copy of Liliana Death's Majesty, which we're going to see played here. This is a Planeswalker that hasn't seen that much play since it was released in Amonkhet. But it's going to do a decent job here of making some blockers, makes 2/2s when it pluses, and also mills 2 cards.
Allows him to bring some of his bigger creatures back from the yard.
Yep, he doesn't have anything real big right now. He should probably just get back a Rogue Refiner.
Yeah, if Jesse's able to get one off the board, he can bring it back with Liliana.
Yeah, and we're going to see here if Jesse cares about Liliana. I'm not sure that he does. It doesn't look like we have the life totals up on the screen right at this moment, so I don't know exactly what both players are at.
Yeah, based on what we've seen
those
so
put up.
far, I believe it's 20
Clayton.
to 12. Yeah.
Yep, 20 to 12.
Yeah.
And so honestly, at this point, I don't think Jesse's really gonna care that much about Liliana, but it looks like he is going to try to kill Liliana.
Yeah.
He sent the one from the desert at Liliana and also attacked his entire team at it, and then played this Rampaging Ferocity where just by plussing the Liliana, Jesse's probably going to deal a damage to Liliana, so the plussing really doesn't do anything except mill 2 and make it 2/2. Doesn't advance the loyalty any.
Yeah. And also to note, it seems like a lot of Jesse's top decks are going to be live here. He's on 5 lands. If he draws a 6, he can bring Kenra back. Now getting rid of the Rampaging Ferocity is good with the exiling effect. Clayton's going to gain a couple life here.
I don't think he does not.
Does not
gain life because Rampaging Ferocity.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that works.
I believe it's the spell resolves, and the state-based actions see the Ferocity still in play.
That's how I believe it is. Yeah. Jesse's in the weird spot that every Magic player likes to be in, where draws a spell, it's fine. Draws a land, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he draws. I think what he doesn't want to draw here is probably like a 1-drop, like a Bomat Courier.
Yeah.
Karizov's fine.
Yeah, Karizov's fine. It's a good attacker. Not so good in the Gifted Aetherborn, which I think is probably
Clayton
of the...
has a good main deck for this. He's got the main deck Gifted Aetherborn.
Do you know approximately how many he's had? Is he? I
think he has 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Yeah.
I think he actually might have just milled another one over too.
Yeah. And it looks like nothing too big in the yard.
There's at least 3.
Yeah, there's nothing too big in the yard.
It's a thematic compass. That's the one where, so at the end of turn, I believe it's 7 or more lands, so it's going to trigger and it's going to flip into a Mazavith.
Oh, that's great.
Which is going to be pretty nice. Yeah. So
I like it.
Jesse had a pretty good start. Clayton stumbled a little bit in the early game, but I think Clayton's pretty much just taking this over.
Yeah. I like the double block there to get the Gifted Aetherborn off the battlefield. At least one of the creatures being that Kenra, so he at least has multiple in the yard that he can bring back. It's a 4/4. Allows him to at least shut off the single Gifted Aetherborn in play, and then he can get in with that Karizev, and then just has a really good big blocker in the back. And there's his 6th land.
Yeah, although I don't really know what outs Jesse really has. He can internalize this Kenra, but he can't make it so it can get through. If he attacks, it's just going to get probably double blocked by 2 zombies.
Yeah. He'll at least get 2 damage through because of the monkey. So depending on how he blocks, I assume, there's a. I assume the double block, the Mazavith on the Kenra. So 2 damage, depending on how he set up attacks, at least 2 damage through on the Liliana. Although the Karizev is biting the dust here.
Yeah, and we're at a point where I can't think of something that Jesse could top deck. Even the most powerful card in the deck, Hazaret, doesn't get him out of this.
Chandra, I don't think, brings him out either.
No, like if he drew Hazaret, played it, Liliana can make a chump blocker for it every turn, and Gifted Aetherborn can gain back the life that Hazaret would be dealing with its discard ability.
The biggest plus, I think, at the moment is that Clayton can't -3 the Liliana just yet, which means he can't be bringing back these Gifted Aetherborns that are in the graveyard, which means he's only able to plus here, and he's going to be plussing for 2 turns.
Plussing's fine.
Plussing,
it makes 2/2s, which just he's going to get ahead of Jesse on this board.
It makes
at
2/2s
some point.
if he flips a creature, I believe.
No, it just makes a 2/2, and then you mill 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and we also see a Hostage Taker in the yard, which is going to be quite large. Is going to be bringing it back. Is going to be quite the.
And this Mazavith is just turning off this Earthstrike kind of.
I'm curious. I didn't get a good look. Curious to see what that last card is in Jesse's hand. I think if he's going to come back, it's gonna start with either a Chandra or a
Hazaret?
Hazaret,
yeah. Okay.
Completely blanked on the.
I think the only way Jesse can really get out of this is if he's playing main deck Glorybringer.
Yeah, that's which, from what I know in playtesting, I believe they're only sideboard. I tested against.
As far as I know. So Jesse's hand is Earthshaker Kenra and Soulscar Mage.
Yeah.
This Earthshaker Kenra is probably just going to trade for a zombie here, and really, I think we're just at a point of Clayton just needs to close out this game somehow.
Which current life total is 18-18. He's a little bit far away, but I still think he's got it pretty locked up. He can bring back one of his. I don't expect him to. I expect him to plus here to make sure the Liliana survives a -3. He's definitely in a position he's gonna save it. He's making blockers for days, so I think we'll definitely. Unless I think Clayton will close it out unless we see a misplay or a bunch of dead draws, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Either. So this attack with the Soulscar Mage is pretty suspect. It's like that's just unless you wanted a creature to die for some reason. I think Jesse's card in hand is Ramunap Ruins.
Yeah. Which I don't think is
Clayton's just waiting to draw a big card. Like if he draws a Noxious Gearhulk, it's going to be game over.
Well, there's one in the yard already, so he's about to bring it back.
Oh, there's not. Oh, well.
There he is. -4, I believe.
He's going to go to 22.
Yeah.
And Jesse's just going to pack it in.
Yeah. There's not much he can draw from that position to bring him out of the game. So what do you think sideboard-wise that we're going to see from these two players to be bringing in?
So I definitely think Jesse's going to go bigger. If he has his copies of Glorybringer, of Chandra, I don't know his exact ratios of main board or sideboard, but those cards are definitely going to want to be in his deck.
You think he'll be siding out some of the worst cards in a matchup? Like, do you think some of the early removal to
so it all depends if Jesse knows that Clayton is not on Winding Constrictor, because against the Winding Constrictor builds, you really do want those early removal spells to break up a Winding Constrictor turn. Like going turn 2 Winding Constrictor into turn 3 Rishkar is going to just be really hard for Jesse to deal with. So I think he still is going to keep in some amount of his early removal spells, especially just to deal with Long Tusk Cub.
Yeah.
I would probably expect Jesse to bring out some of his probably 1-drops. I don't think...
Yeah. I don't see...
Soulscar Mage lines up particularly well against what's going on here.
Yeah, and I don't...
Bowmat Courier is fine as just a source of card advantage.
I think it's a little bit weaker because I think it's... Obviously, Jesse would be on the play here. He lost the first game. I think it'll be very strong on the first turn of the game. I think it's probably a little worse the later in the game you get. I think that's... Obviously, I agree with you. I think it'll stay in, but I still think it's maybe one of the weaker cards. You might cut a copy or two.
Yeah. So while we're just in the sideboard here, I just want to remind you guys that we are brought to you by GameSwap Mason, where you can find a wide variety of Magic the Gathering singles, sealed product that spans throughout the game's history, as well as video games, movies, supplies for tabletop games, and board games. There's also plenty of table space for you and your friends to enjoy your favorite classics or discover a new game that you might want to try. GameSwap Mason is conveniently located on Route 42 or Reading Road if you are located in Mason, Ohio. And it is in just the northern suburbs of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, you can see some people in the background here on Clayton's side of the screen. I believe they're back there playing some board games. I don't know the specifics.
Having fun with their friends.
Having fun, hanging out.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Playing some Magic.
Even more on the point of older sets, I picked up a old pack of Gatecrash here. This is the first set when I started playing. Happened to open a Water Grave. Pretty interesting. But yeah, they've got sets spanning all the way back. I believe I saw like Invasion, so tons of stuff if you're looking for older cards. So yeah, I'll probably play an Unstable Draft here.
Yeah, that's looking fun.
Yeah, especially early parts in December. So definitely be coming out here. Some great people to play Unstable with. I'm curious to see if they'll bring in any more wacky interactions.
Oh, they will. It's unstable. There's gonna be some weird stuff.
Oh yeah. All right.
And then Iconic Masters drops on Friday.
Oh.
So they're doing Iconic Masters here.
Oh.
Crazy as in, I agree we need more legacy, but unfortunately just in this area we don't have that much of a legacy scene. I know it's pretty big up near Dayton and then the northern Kentucky area. They get a decent amount of people, so I think people in northern Kentucky might be trying to get a legacy stream going soon, but we just unfortunately just don't have the support here for it.
Yeah. And it looks like Jesse and Clayton are looking at their opening 7. I believe Clayton kept. I'm not sure. It looks like Jesse is either continuing to shuffle up or maybe he took a mull to 6. We'll find out here shortly. Other than that, what do you think about post-sideboard? Do you think this matchup is more in Ramunap Red's favor, or do you think it still sticks, or do you think we'll see a similar game-to-game one?
I definitely think that Ramunap Red gets better post-board.
With access to Glorybringers and Chandras.
Yeah, Glorybringers and Chandras are going to be really hard for these Sultai decks to deal with, but Clayton also gets to trim down on his more expensive cards. We saw Liliana Death's Majesty do work in that game, but I don't necessarily think that's where he wants his deck to be. He wants to make sure he survives the early game, and his larger cards are just going to overpower Jesse's aggro deck.
It looks like mulligan to 6, It looked like he had double Bowmat Courier, or maybe it was double colorless lands, which is one of the weaknesses.
You need to make sure you have red lands.
Yeah, it was one of the weaknesses of Ramunap Red is their 8 colorless lands. So sometimes you can just get a dead draw. Looks like Clayton is keeping his 7 though. Curious to see if we can get a good look at his hand. I didn't see a whole lot of notable cards. Looks like there's 3 lands there.
There's a Rogue Refiner. I can tell you that. And honestly, if I give I'm more of a Team Energy player, but if you have 3 lands and a Rogue Refiner, I'll probably keep it.
Yeah, sounds
Rogue Refiner is just a great card.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the things that just ties all of these decks together.
Yeah, looks like here Jesse's keeping a 6. I see a Bowmat Courier, Lightning Strike.
I believe 4 lands.
4 lands. Yeah, that's
a lot of lands, but Bowmat Courier can help you undo those mulligans if you really don't care about all those lands.
Yeah, I'm guessing with the Scry it was either a more late game card Jesse doesn't necessarily want to see at the moment. maybe Glorybringer or another card, because he did scry to the top, then attack with the Bomat Courier. So
Yeah,
I'm curious to know what that top card was. Oh, immediately dead to the Lightning Strike.
Oh yeah, you cannot let that Gifted Aetherborn stay around.
Oh yeah. I don't think he could have Lightning Struck fast enough there. Looks like a shock. Shock was a draw. Third card, third hit, down to 17.
Yeah, he's got a Hazoret in hand, so
yeah,
we might just see Shock on the end. He's probably going to Shock Aether Sphere Harvester, because Clayton actually cannot cast Rogue Refiner.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to see Shock in the end step, and that's just so Jesse can play his land, play his Hazoret, and attack with it.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what Jesse wants to be doing.
And that's 4 cards under the Bomat Courier. Even if that card never attacks again, that's a ton of card advantage. Plus, Jesse does know what one of those cards is, so he.
That is true.
My guess is it's probably a.
I don't know what it is. I don't play mono red enough to know what he'd want to keep on top right now.
Yeah. It's my thought was a Glorybringer, because it's a card he knows he's probably not going to pick up till a little bit later, especially with he had a lot of removal spells.
Yeah.
So
this is pretty interesting here. What Clayton decides to do with this Gifted Aetherborn. What I was gonna say is completely invalid. I was gonna see if you wanted to leave that back to block, or if you wanted to use it to crew the Aether Sphere Harvester, but he had another 2-drop, so he gets the best of both worlds.
Yep. He pays the energy, gets life gain, is able to go up.
So I think what Jesse's really going to be wanting to look for here is a Braid, and Jesse can actually just play all the cards in his hand, make so that can't block. He can shock the Glint Sleeve Siphoner and activate Bomat Courier.
Yeah, and was that 5 or 6 cards under Bomat? It's 5 cards.
It's 5
under
cards.
Bomat Courier. That's a lot of cards.
So Clayton is taking a lot here, and we're just see Shock go to the face, which I like here.
I think Jesse might wait to activate the Bomat Courier until after he sees what his next draw is, unless he's pressured to do it. Unless he's pressured to get it via a removal spell from Clayton.
Yeah, it saves him a point of life. I don't necessarily like this line by Jesse. Now he does know what one of the 5 cards is, so that could be changing what his play is. But if he's not played a land this turn, so if
that is
2 of those cards are land and shock, he could have killed Clayton that turn.
Yeah, that is.
And with an Aether Sphere Harvester in play, ways to gain life, that is gonna matter.
Yeah. My thought is based on what we've seen so far, it's probably a Glorybringer, but like you said, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real. It is probably a powerful card because he knew it was going to get
And I kind of understand this line of play. Yeah, I understand this line of play with maybe baiting out a removal spell from Clayton.
Yeah, no, I mean,
2-for-1.
Glorybringer would just be lethal. Oh, so we don't see an activation at the end step. I don't know about that. Maybe he really wants to attack with his Hazoret.
Yeah, maybe.
We're see here. Oh,
there's a Chandra.
God, Chandra.
And that's a pretty good turn.
So we're not exactly at lethal yet.
No.
We could,
well, especially with the Gifted Aetherborn.
Kill the Gifted Aetherborn. And attack with everything. Rogue Refiner has to chump the Hazoret.
Yeah, he kills there. He can attack with. He can. I see them. I keeping the Bomat Courier back.
Attacking with Bomat Courier. Why are we not attacking with Bomat Courier?
That is true. He would have to take.
I don't understand that not attacking there. Clayton could go back to 1.
Especially because.
And 1 is not that different from 2.
No, not in this position. I mean,
except
obviously.
For Sunscorched Desert, so.
Yeah. Well, obviously he is the play of Shock. Jesse's in a very strong position at this point. Obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially with not leaving the mana up. The attacking with the Bomat Courier is only slightly more.
But yeah, I like this from Clayton here. Yeah. He realizes that 1 is not that different from 2, so he does draw an extra card, try to find himself another out.
Yeah. Sees if he can find a way to, obviously not kill him, but maybe take out the Chandra. That's maybe another reason to leave Bomat Courier back, but very suspect because you want to get those cards from Bomat Courier.
Leaving Bomat Courier doesn't do anything because the Glint Sleeve Siphoner has Menace, so it can kill Chandra anyway.
Yeah, very true.
So we see Vraska's Contempt on Hazoret.
Exiling the Hazoret. He's attacking there. He's paying energy, getting the life.
So there was no risk to Bomat there.
That is true.
Dragon Nuts?
Maybe?
Yeah, there was no risk to Bomat because there was no blocker.
There's the land. Put him down to 5. I expect we'll see a
5.
Bomat activation probably post
No,
attack.
Clayton has lethal. He attacks with all 3.
Pitches a land with Ramunap.
Yeah.
He's getting the cards.
Okay. I don't understand some of these lands. Oh god, that's 5 lands.
Wow.
Oh, that's what he left on top. He left on top Sorceress Spyglass.
Yeah.
Jesse boards that in because he hates having to deal with Scarab God.
That is true. Although, my guess is he missed lethal there.
He did miss lethal.
He did miss lethal.
If Clayton had a fatal push, he would have played it a while ago.
Yeah, he would have played it, especially last turn, because Jesse was tapped out. There was nothing Jesse could have do to respond. He wouldn't have been able to get those cards.
Yeah, so if Jesse...
He puts Clayton down to 3
I don't think there's
off.
a good way he can do this. So he can name Aethersphere Harvester.
Yeah. He can name Aethersphere Harvester, prevent the lands. He sees what he sees.
Oh, there's an Essence Extraction.
Yeah. That's a big life swing here with Clayton. He can kill the Kenra, which I think in Clayton's position, he doesn't want to do right away just because Jesse just drew 5 cards, essentially.
Yeah, Jesse doesn't. Clayton doesn't know that those are all lands.
Yeah, he doesn't know that, but he can very safely assume at least one of those is a land, which would put Jesse up to 6 and allow him to get the Kenra back. So, I expect we'll see. I expect we'll see a simple pass. Clayton can crew the Aethersphere Harvester.
So so Jesse needs to make sure that he does not activate this Ramunap Ruins. He needs to wait because he needs to wait until Clayton casts Essence Extraction. Once Clayton does that, this is assuming that Sorceress Spyglass named Aethersphere Harvester.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gonga Spike. Jesse brings Sorceress Spyglass in out of his sideboard because he really does not like having to deal with Scarab God specifically. He feels like that's one of the reasons.
Well, also, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he did name
it. I agree. It's not that great.
Yeah, even if he did name Aethersphere Harvester, I'm pretty sure that means he can't crew it.
Correct. He cannot crew is an activated ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually asking the judge right now. Yes,
he's asking that now. It is an activated ability, which means the biggest play right now is to attack, maybe trade with the trade to Kenra. He could get it back, get a 4, prevent the just have a blocker back.
So if you get it back,
it can just be Essence Extraction.
Well, no, it's a 4/4.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
he Essence Extractions the other one.
Yeah.
Goes to 5, I believe, and then goes to 1. I'm pretty sure that Clayton's at 2, assuming this because wasn't he at 3 before?
Yeah, he's at 3 now. He didn't have to. I don't.
The Sunscorched Desert, did that put him to 3, or that
I believe that put him to 3.
Oh, I thought it put him 2. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's still on the stack. We were just informed. So this is while the Sunscorched Desert was on the stack.
Okay, that's a very heads-up play from Clayton, knowing that he was going to have to... So he's at 3.
Currently at 5.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to avoid with... if Jesse has a shock in hand, he wanted to avoid the burn from that, or even the burn from Ramunap. He didn't want to get himself to 2 while a Ramunap activation was
Jesse's going to play the Rampaging Ferocity that he drew.
Which is...
It's pretty good here.
Pretty good play, yeah. Especially because future Essence Extractions are dead cards, along with any creatures he puts into play is just going to ping them. He's sitting on 4 mana right now, lands. I assume next turn, pretty straightforward for Jesse. Brings back the Kenra, makes the...
It depends on what Clayton does.
Yeah, I think it heavily depends on what Clayton does. But even if Clayton plays a creature, puts him to 4, he blocks both the Kenra. Well, the Kenra, one of the creatures. So
we're gonna see a tune, and honestly, I think
yeah.
Clayton's hand now is just all lands.
That might be it. Yeah, especially because the tune we knew it was Essence Extraction land. He just drew an Attune, played a land. He's gonna play this land. It seems pretty straightforward. I'm not sure if Jesse can win next turn unless he draws a burn spell, because he would bring the Kenra back, and I believe Clayton needs to have a creature here, put himself 2/4.
So we're gonna see an attack here
for the energy. Not sure what that can be used on.
Yeah, I think I thought the other card that in Clayton's hand that we don't know about is a land, but if it's a way to deal with one of these creatures, then
could be another.
He survives at like 1.
Yeah, it could be. Even if it's an Essence Extraction, he just gets rid of a 4/4.
Well, Essence Extraction deals 3 damage. You can't get rid of a 4/4.
You're right.
And if he kills the Rampaging Ferocidon, I don't think he will gain life.
No, he won't. That was proven game 1 that you don't get life off of it. There comes so
yeah, here's some Kenra. I mean, if Clayton has a removal spell, he survives at like 1. So he's under land.
He didn't have a removal spell. Yeah.
It was a rocky road. Yep. Took a really long time to get there, with some misplays involved. But Jesse eventually gets game 2 here.
Yeah. Yep.
This is where at like a Pro Tour chat would be screaming, "Miss Lethal, Miss Lethal."
Oh yeah. Surprised they're not already.
Oh, they were.
Oh, they were.
They definitely were.
They definitely were.
It's Twitch chat. They always scream Miss Lethal.
Oh yeah.
Even when it's Twitch chat lethal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And Jesse. We can hear Jesse's telling Clayton what the Bomat Courier was. I'm curious though that he kept the Spyglass on top and then proceeded to keep putting that in under the Bomat. I guess obviously the 4 lands is a little unfortunate, especially because he was drawing lands throughout his draws anyway. Obviously the Miss Lethal was a big one.
Yeah, I mean there were a couple of missed those there from Jesse. Obviously Miss Lethal was a big one. The other one was not cracking the Bomat Courier when he had 5 cards under it. End of turn. I really would have liked to see that. Actually, I would have liked to see it in the main phase.
Yeah.
And then not attacking with the Bomat Courier when it was definitely safe to attack.
Yeah, because it was either block the Bomat Courier or die. So.
Well, no, I think it would have put him like to 1, but
he couldn't.
Every point of damage matters.
Yeah, well, Clayton couldn't block the Bomat Courier. He had 1 blocker, and he was taking lethal from the other 2. So, in that way, it was safe. So, yeah. Do you expect this matchup to go the same way? Game 3.
Well, Clayton's on the play. Okay. That's a very big deal. If he can get his 2 drops, but especially Gifted Aetherborn.
Yeah.
Gifted Aetherborn does not die to shock.
Yeah.
So if we have a removal spell in Jesse's hand that can kill the Gifted Aetherborn, it's going to be a Braid or Lightning Strike. That's going to take his entire turn 2 to play.
Yeah.
And that's going to kind of suck for Clayton.
Yeah. Do you think on the draw Jesse is taking out his Bomat Couriers? Since he is no longer on the play, he doesn't have access to that strong turn 1.
I don't think so, because Clayton still doesn't have Clayton's not going to play a 1-drop.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The worst thing he's going to do is Fatal Push your
1-drop
Bomat Courier. I still think you want the Bomat Courier.
Okay.
You can also you have a lot of ways to make creatures not able to block. That's one of the ways that I see people who board in Gifted Aetherborn against Mono Red. A lot of the times you want to be attacking with that Gifted Aetherborn. If you're just going to sit back and try to have it block, you're going to get your Shaker Kenrid. You're going to get On-Crop Crashered. And it's not going to do anything. You're going to be in the weird world where you're not attacking, you're not blocking, so your creatures are just pretty cardboard.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious to get your opinion on this Sultai version without the Whiny Constrictor Rexxar. Do you think it's stronger even with the better late game, or do you think it's maybe a little weaker because it can't come?
I think it's weaker than the Snake version. From my experience playing against Sultai, especially with Teamer, is that the Sultai player is the aggressive deck. They really want to have that early curve with like turn 1, Attune with Aether, and a turn 2 Cub into Constrictor, put a bunch of counters on it, or just Constrictor into Rishkar.
Yeah.
If the Sultai deck if this Constrictor deck tries to play a late game against Teamer, it's probably not going to go well for them. Teamer has Glorybringer, Teamer has Chandra, Confiscation Coup, Whirler Virtuoso.
Yeah, you can play a Scorpion God. I'm just going to take it.
Scarab God.
Scarab God.
Scorpion God is the red-black one.
You're right.
It's not that great. It's decent, not that great.
Yeah, we see Jesse back on 6 here.
Yeah, his opening hand, I believe, was 4 lands, Hazaret.
We see a Scry at the top there. Sun-Scorched Desert.
Yeah, and he left the Bomat Couriers in.
Yep. Gets a card off of it. That's a very good turn 1. And we see Clayton respond with a Glintsteve Siphoner.
Yeah, that's not his 2-drop of choice. He would much rather play the...
It looks like Jesse has a Lightning Strike in hand. We see that fired off. Get into Clayton with the Bomat Courier again. Get another card under it. I think if this Bomat Courier is able to get 2, 3, or 4, even 4 cards under it, I think Jesse's in a very strong position for going into the later stages of his game.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that they really want to.
And I see a shock in his hand, so I'm curious. Okay, he just plays out the Rampaging Ferocidon. I was curious to see if he would maybe shock and try to get him with the Bomat Courier again. Maybe he's setting up to do that next turn.
Yeah, I like developing the Ferocidon here. The best way Clayton has to get in this game is to develop his creature base, develop his threats.
Yeah.
And now you're going to punish him for doing that. Yeah. So he plays the Rogue Refiner. He takes 1. And then he's going to probably shock one of the Rogue Refiners, and then they can't even block the Rampaging Ferocidon because it does have Menace.
Yep.
You see Soulscar Mage, which actually its interaction with Shock and Gifted Aetherborn is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because Soulscar Mage would have it put -1/-1 counters to deal damage. So you can turn the Gifted Aetherborn to a 0/1.
Yep.
So it doesn't deal damage, doesn't gain
No
life, or kill things.
Yep. We see Clayton with a very full hand here. It looks like he's got another copy of Rogue Refiner there. He playing a 4-drop. Yep. Vraska's Contempt onto that Rampaging Ferocidon, getting that off the table.
Now, Jesse does have a Glorybringer in his hand, so he's going to be drawing a land here.
Let's see.
He draws the lands.
Draws the land.
So, big Flying Dragon.
Yep. I expect maybe attack with everything here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Attack with everything, exert killing the Rogue Refiner.
Yeah. Get that 3rd card under Bomat Courier, I think, is probably one of the biggest things here. Yep.
Putting that die on there just to remind himself.
Yep. Let's see what Clayton can draw here. It looks like he drew a land. I see 2. I get the card I thought was Rogue Refiner, I believe is actually an Aether Hub. Oh, maybe I was wrong.
I don't know.
Is it a Rogue Refiner?
We'll see.
Kind of hard to,
I'd be very surprised if he did not have
a larger
Scarab God in his deck.
Yeah. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's just poor draws.
It is possible. Actually, wait. Sorry, I do know that he does not because he can't afford them. They're very expensive.
That is true. I can't afford them
he would be playing them if he had them.
Yes. It's a very strong card.
I just remembered our conversation.
Yeah. Yep. He steals the Bomat Courier.
Yep, well now all those cards go away.
Yeah. No, it's a perfectly fine play.
And now Jesse is just on the top of his deck.
Yeah, especially with that Glorybringer tapped. Curious to see if he'll just attack in. Yep, attack in with the Soulscar Mage.
Now we see a double block here. Does he have the Lightning Strike or something? The Shock. This is going to work out the way he wants it to.
Yep.
Important note, that's not a trigger. He said trigger, but that's technically it's a replacement effect, not a trigger.
Well, no, he was talking about the Prowess trigger.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah,
he did cast that, so that does die.
Prowess trigger, which means the total power from Clayton's creatures is just 2.
Yep.
His Soulscar Mage is a 2/3.
Yep.
Keeps both. Very good play there. Another Vraska.
Oh God.
Wow.
But these 4-mana removal spells are adding up for Clayton here.
Yeah.
They are dealing him a lot of damage. Ooh, another Ferocidon.
Yeah, it's a very, very good top deck. Not the best, but still very good because it's still going to punish Clayton for trying to get his board presence back up.
I see a Gonti here.
I'm curious to see
what he can grab. Ramunap Ruins, Lightning Strike, Bomat Courier, and a Braid.
Yeah. I believe he grabbed the Lightning Strike there.
Yeah.
I think mainly for that face damage, maybe to help close out the game later.
I mean,
he's
going to cast it right away. It doesn't matter.
He's gonna cast it right away. Yeah. I think that's a fine play
if you're not going to cast it, I would have taken a Braid. There's no way that Lightning Strike is going to go to Jesse's face with the way this game's going. He could have something like Aether Sphere Harvester. You've already seen Sorceress Spyglass.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, he was going to cast it right away. It doesn't matter.
There's a land.
So now Clayton is on Jesse's on the slow burn of, okay, you're dead in 4 turns to this Ramunap ruins.
Yep.
Except he only has 3 deserts, which is unfortunate.
Deserts. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I believe we'll see an activation into turn.
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe if he can sneak in a point of damage with that School Star Mage. I expect it to just
Clayton's not going to put the shields down.
Yeah.
He's going to keep his creatures back.
Oh yeah. I believe the last card in his hand is a land on Clayton's side. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look at it last time. Oh, it is play.
It's never to return.
Never to return. Ah, interesting.
So does Jesse have an Earthshaker counter in his graveyard?
I'm not sure.
See here.
I
What
believe.
can Jesse draw?
Yeah.
He draw
it looked like he drew.
Glorybringer would be lethal.
Well, I believe he drew a Lightning Strike. I only got a quick glance, but I believe it was. And if that's the case, he's got a 2-turn clock.
No, he's dead.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, he's dead on his next upkeep. Yep.
Shock.
Shock.
Either way works it. Okay, so Jesse is going to take this game and take this match.
Yeah, very close
here.
Very close there. Clayton was starting to stabilize and come back, but Ramunap Red just with the early pressures and good way, lots burned, just can close it out.
Yeah, Keslo 42. He's still running Thematic Compass. We saw it game 1. He probably boarded it out. I don't think this is really a matchup where you can take that much time just to search for basic lands and to eventually get a Mazavith.
Yeah.
It
did work game 1 though.
Yeah,
that is true.
But he had kind of locked up the game at that point already with the Liliana of the Last Hope.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
So that's gonna be it for us here, round 1. The matchup took a bit, so hopefully we won't have that much time between rounds. Probably about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and we will see you guys back here for round 2.